Well, the Project LEILAC is one of the many projects that are happening in the European cement industry. We are on the external advisory board of LEILAC and we follow the project for the industry as a trade association in Brussels. Well, the interesting thing I think is indeed the pilot phase which is now starting, which is important for us because from a European perspective there is a lot of pressure to reduce the CO2 emissions, and this is one of the many technologies that are being used. I mean, capture technology is used in many ways and with many applications. This is one of them, and we are really hopeful for this pilot project to be successful, to then be commercialized later on to help us reduce our CO2 emissions, which is one of the major challenges for our industry. Because if you're looking at our industry, 2/3 of our emissions are process emissions, process related, which means that the main venue to reduce our emissions is capture. Capture and use and capture and storage. I mean, it's not only the carbon capture but also use applications and storage of it. But that is the main technology that we're looking at. We don't have too many other options to reduce these process emissions, which again are 2/3 of our emissions. I think the biggest lesson learned is that throughout the project itself, there's still a lot of research that is being done in the way the project is developing, in the way that you're using your raw materials, in the way that you're looking at the different techniques that are being applied. So it's basically research in a research, and the innovation is happening as we go along, and that was very interesting also to see that. Well, I mean, at the stage of the pilot, it's always a challenge to see whether what has been researched and has been worked on over the period of the project, whether that will be successful and whether in the end the application will be successful, because that will be the major step towards commercialization of the project. Well, I would say that a project like this one allows us to make a big stride in terms of CO2 emissions reduction, especially in an area which is most difficult for us to reduce, process emissions area. The timing of the project has been relatively short. The project has been delivered on time and has been delivered on budget with a participation of all the companies. So with a common effort of the companies, we can address the CO2 challenge going forward, and that should be an incentive to combine the innovation efforts amongst the companies active in our sector.